Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Last Days of Europe with me, Alpha Pi Omega, in the Greater Germanic Reich. So, in the last episode, I think we managed to finish the issue in Madagascar, but we got involved in a little referendum in Jamaica. Unfortunately, it's not going really all that well. The chance that they will declare an independence is extremely small, and we really don't have any way to affect that anymore. So it looks like the Americans are gonna win this one. But you know, you win some, you lose some. I think that what I screwed it up most with was covering our tracks, because I noticed too late that it actually really badly hurt our chances of winning this. But oh well, I mean, whatever. We got what we came for, actually. We got a huge boost to our GDP. We got some, people which are gonna come and help us build our beautiful Reich. And Jamaica can stay where it is. Though, on the other hand, we spend a lot of political power on it, but hey, again, you win some, you lose some. As far as winning and losing, we lowered our debt to GDP to 103.6% from, I think we started somewhere around 100 and, we can't even see it, but around 107%. So the fact that it's still dropping, we have a real GDP growth of 2.2%, a yearly surplus of 1.17% of GDP. Economically, we are starting to do really fine. I'm actually even considering that we will start investing some of that money to help our people a bit, but at this point we have to wait. There were some suggestions that I go ahead and change some of our setup, but we really can't do that. These buttons are not responsive. I'm clicking. You, for example, suggested that we changed the conscription, but we just can't. It doesn't, I can't do anything. I think it's locked for now due to the event chain that we are going through. So we'll see if we can change that later on, but right now I really can't do anything in that regard. With that said, let's unpause and let the game run. We are doing really good on our other major issue, which is the power struggle. Albert Speer's influence is large. We have 90. Everyone else got an agency upgrade. Okay, everyone else is actually doing stuff, and I realized that someone making moves is probably them using one of these options because it lowers their legitimacy. So ours right now is the highest. We're gonna keep going up, and when we get to about 100, I'm gonna take additional steps, though we might want to bring here to our side, but we already have 4 regiments now at this point, so it's pretty good. And we can get another doctrine, this time naval one. Oh, so it's split between a blue water navy and green water navy. Well, honestly, I think we're gonna have to go with the blue water navy, not only because it's so big, but we can't really remain on the defensive. So let's go with blue water navy. How many nations can boast a fleet worthy of the high seas? A true modern superpower must be able to contest any point on the globe at any time with overwhelming force, mustering a force of battleships and carriers that would bankrupt a small nation. Gunboat diplomacy has never been so big. Mutual exclusive with Green Water Navy. So let's get that one and continue. Anything else? Production. Oh, did we finish? That's actually a good thing. Did we finish the bunkers? No, we're still working on them. I really have no idea. You guys will either tell me that's a great idea, or that I'm completely screwing myself up because I'm building it at the wrong place. But we'll see, we'll see. I'm trying to build it in the places that would logically follow based on the bunkers that we already have. So we're gonna see. I mean, it could be a backup or fallback, a defensive line. I'm just hoping that I'm not building in someone else's territory in case we end up in that situation. That would not be great. I don't want updates when those go away. The Siberian Black Army declared one on the Principality of Kemerovo. Yet another one. Who are you guys? Siberian Soviet. In the wake of the Union's collapse, the people of the Angaras Basin found themselves free from the authority of Moscow. The first thing they did, in a true socialist fashion, was to assemble a committee. Many of the regional institutions were functioning without Moscow's oversight. And with some rationing and belt tightening, many of the goods that it imported from elsewhere in the Union could be forgone or replaced with local substitutes. Contact with the remnants of the Soviet government in Western Russia had been lost, and they were hesitant to acknowledge the democratic provisional government in the Central Siberian Republic and the tyrannical regime of Genrik Yegoda alike, forming self-defense militia squads fighting for their freedoms with blood, and thus influenced by the influx of once ostracized anarchist thinkers from the farthest parts of the Soviet Union, they proclaimed their independence as the Siberian Anarchist Soviet, a self-governing ruling body with equal representation for all major towns and industrial unions. As their position became secure from the foreign threats, the Siberian Black Army, the military force of the Free Commune of the shores of Lia, or Aya, I'm not sure if that's Lia or probably Aya, became one of the leading voices in the Soviet and declared militarized anarchism as its main platform. The militia service became an essential part of every man and woman of the free territory, and the armed formations of the free communes are assembled not merely as a means of self-defense for the free communities, but also as means of spreading the liberating ideology abroad. The spreading militarization of the anarchist society, seemingly contradictory to anarchist ideals, caused surprisingly little tensions between the army and the Soviet, but many of commoners feared that the ambitions of the Black Army, the protector of the independence of Siberian communes, will eventually become the undoing of their own freedoms. Well, that's kind of interesting. They do have a large national focus, so this is definitely going to be someone who will need to keep an eye on. Got 7 divisions, but no factories. Well, and the divine mandate of Siberia declared one on the Presidium of the Supreme Soviet. So this is another one of those that we checked last time. They got some factories. They got 5 regiments. They have no national focus though, which kind of tells me that they might not be, major player. Who is leading them? Alexander Mann. Alexander Vladimirovich Mann never asked to be a shepherd of so many, to have his flock lives entrusted in his care, or to feel the weight of heaven upon his shoulders. And yet he is all of these things, the father of the North. And yet, this was not always so. A Jewish child baptized as an infant, Mann's father was taken from him when he was 6 years old, dragged to the gulags by the NKVD on false charges, leaving the young boy with a strong conviction against the fear and tyranny so many throughout the world felt. Despite the dangers of the underground worship in the Union, Mann remained a devout Christian, albeit a very unorthodox one. A firm believer in equality transcending class, sex, race, and even faith, Mann's ideas were almost an unknown within the Church, or even the Union as a whole. In the dark times following the death of the Union, Mann found himself in the frozen North, comforting the struggling peasantry, offering them God's love and his own words if they did not accept the Lord's. He told them of his hopes for a land of truly freed men and women, a land of egalitarianism, a place of communes and villages where all would be unchained. His beliefs and actions began to gather support among the isolated communities of Siberia, slowly at first, then all at once. The isolated villages of the North pledged their belief in their father. Today, the North marches against the chaos that has inflamed the Holy Motherland for so long, and with their father's watchful gaze, they will bring deliverance and salvation to all who suffer. Bratsky Soyuz, Christian socialism, and they're at war with Irkutsk. Well, Irkutsk is gonna tear them to pieces if... yeah. I don't know if Irkutsk is at war. They're at war with Yakutia as well. Yeah, they're gone. Irkutsk gonna win. And Jamaica stays in these federations. Many within the OF and the United States now breathe easier as news broke that Jamaica voted to remain in the West Indies Federation. The vote ensured the largest economic presence in the bloc would remain and acted as a vote of confidence in the administration of Prime Minister Manway, a consistent and strong supporter of the Federation. With the mandate of the people, the Prime Minister has elected to proceed with his planned constitutional rewrite, despite It being the driving force behind the referendum, Prime Minister Manuel has stated that he considers the issue now resolved and will proceed, promising Jamaicans that strengthening ties to the Federation will only lead to prosperity, while also permanently bringing the nation to the American sphere of influence. Well, you chose your destiny, and so have we. So, yeah, that one is done. Yeah, Heydrich is making moves, Göring is making moves, and Bormann is making moves. I think that should remove their... Oh, it's kind of weird. But I think that should lower their influence. Well, never mind. Whatever, we're doing our thing. Let's focus on that. I wonder if we haven't heard any news about Hitler recently. I mean, it's a bit worrisome. Hopefully we're not going to be hit with Hitler is dead next. Everything okay here? Seems like it. The Transbaikal Principality declared one on the Sakha Republic. Jesus! Russia is starting to, you know, jump up. Let's wait. Was it the Transbaikal Principality? Yeah, it was this one. They declared one on Yakutia. Man, people are really jumping at each other here. That's a bit worrisome, to say the least. But what can we do? Okay, scaling back military production is gonna be done in 1 day. So good to know. Okay, so we scaled back the military production. Yet another of Speer's gripes with the economy is the influence held upon German industry by the Wehrmacht. Military needs are playing too far great a role in the economy. Germany's massive military costs a ridiculous amount on its own, and a tremendous amount of the German industrial base is dedicated to keeping it supplied. Therefore, Speer has wisely determined that the Reich's economic situation would improve if we were to scale back our military production, as it's unlikely that the Reich will be engaged in a major conflict anytime soon, so we get extra legitimacy, command power is lowered. Division organization, however, is increased and slightly decreased in maximum investment in army funding. Well, the last thing that we can do is too little too late. I'm not always sure. That's not very optimistic, to be quite honest. Okay, our influence is now seen as large. So let's hope that's going to be the good thing. I wonder what kind of units we're gonna get from this. You guys mentioned that they should be an elite, you know, hopefully I'm not gonna get like a militia. Muhammad Abdel Munaim named regent of Egypt. After the death of King Farouk, the Egyptian monarchy entered a phase of crisis, with the successor Fuad II still not of adult age. In a bid to restore the prestige of the monarchy, tarnished by Farouk's debauchery, the Italian government has named Damat Prince Muhammad Abdel Munaim as regent of Egypt, a distant cousin of the late king. Munaim has experience as a diplomat and administrator for the kingdom, and is one of the most influential members of the royal court. With this move, the Italian government has renewed its by now old alliance with the Egyptian monarchy. Munaim's influence and long career made him a popular choice with conservatives and moderates in the country. But some fear that the public image of the royal house has been tainted irredeemably by Farouk, and many see it as a mere tool of Italian oppression. For now, Egypt can only rejoice that the hated king is dead, and a more respectable Egyptian is in command of the country. I actually don't know anything about Farouk. I should maybe read about that sometime. Egyptian history is kinda cool and amazing, and worrisome and sad at the same time. So, knowing, that things did not work out for them too much is... Okay, we can see some more forts happening. Wait. Okay, this is part of Ordenstadt. Okay, so that doesn't really bother us. What did we have? Now let's shadow a couple of upgrades in these areas. Let's see if that works. And we'll build some more infrastructure. Schleswig-Holstein. Hanover. This should be greatly helping our nominal GDP growth. Yeah, it increased from 0.111 to 0.129, which might not seem like a big thing, but actually it is. It is a big thing. And let me build Westfalen Südha. Okay, we can build a hospital here, an administrative building, a school, and a prison to improve that. We need to increase our efficiency of our services. I need to check if this is making moves, if it lowers their legitimacy or not, or influence, not legitimacy. But I mean, in the end, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. A report from Norway, from the Executive Office of Reichskommissariat Norwegian to the Federal Foreign Office of Gross Germanisches Reich. Subject: regarding unsanctioned civilian propaganda. As noted in previous communication, investigation into supposed domestic subversive elements are currently ongoing and will continue as further evidence is made known. Existing operational forces will be redistributed to locations where they are more needed until such a time as the Office of the Reichskommissar deems it necessary. Force deployments of the garrison, state security agencies, and local and federal police forces are determined via the complex needs of the Reichskommissariat and may appear unorthodox, but they are being utilized to their fullest extent. During this period, efforts to monitor ongoing supposed domestic subversive elements will continue as needed, but pursuant to the intentions of the security apparatus, additional direct action against alleged propaganda has been deemed counterproductive. Thus, until rescinded, the security apparatus has been ordered to observe and analyze supposed propaganda until such a time as the Office of the Reichskommissar deems it necessary. The ongoing mission to the Gross Germanisches Reich and its interest in Reichskommissariat Norwegian are being met at pace, and until further notice will not require increased activity in anti-propaganda endeavors. Okay, so many words have never said... so many words have never had so little to say. Yeah, that's true. This is kind of interesting text. Like, tell them something, but you know, don't tell them anything. Very true. Very true. Okay, we could bring more here regiments to our side. Effects when removed, huh? I wonder if we should try it one more time. Yeah, I think we can wait. Let's wait for our... If we get another option to... What's it called? Look for opportunities, then I'm gonna use it. Use of conglomerates. We'll see. I'd like to mention that I previously wanted to secure Berman and Manor, but you guys mentioned that it's not worth it. That it would actually mean that you know, it's actually a distraction. I think were the words that you mentioned. So I trust you. I trust you with that. I don't want to, you know, go all crazy. So August is ending, so let's see if we can get some new things done in the beginning of September. 5.04 million free manpower. That's insane. And we increase population by 310,000 per month. Well, at least the growth of the population is healthy. Command power 58. We do have a bunch of generals that could use stuff, but no. Look for opportunities here. Most production units. Are you sure? Are you sure about that? I don't think so. The Presidium of Supreme Soviet has conquered the Sakha Republic in the struggle for fate of Russia. Okay, Presidium of Supreme Soviet. Irkutsk. Oh, here it is, yeah. Yeah, Irkutsk is growing. Genrikh Yagoda, Irkutsk. Death of Plague Hibunsokram. Is this sounds like Taiwan? With recent government purges griping the attention of the nation, a more unexpected development has brought the Republic of Taiwan to a standstill. The death of the Grand Marshal, father of the nation, Plague Hibunsokram. From his involvement in the 1942 revolution against royal absolutism to leading Taiwan to victory in war against the European imperialists to the declaration of Thai Republic, Hibunsokram's legacy is perhaps the greatest in Thai history. His passing was announced to the nation by an interim governing council consisting of various prominent bureaucrats and generals, now entrusted to manage the immediate fallout of the passing of Taiwan's pater patriae. However, with power now resting in Bangkok's most cunning schemers, many now wonder how long until the balance of power tips and violence swallows the young republic. So I really haven't checked Taiwan before, so this is Vietnam and Taiwan is here. We got Laos and Kampuchea here. Okay. So Bangkok interim government. They're allied. Oh, are they part of the region? Yeah, they are. Okay. So they're part of the co-prosperity sphere. Cool. And let's look at Irkutsk, because these guys are actually going crazy towards the restoration, facilitate, reorganization back in the USSR. So what's going on? Genrikh Yagoda. Back in the days of the old Soviet Union, Genrikh Grigorievich Yagoda was a name that many knew and were terrified of. As the director of the NKVD, oh god, Yagoda was responsible for cementing the stability and security of Bukharin's regime, whom he had supported even in the initial power struggle that had led to his rise to power. With little more than a simple order from him, even the most prominent Bolsheviks could suddenly disappear or be executed for counter-revolutionary behavior. Then, when the war broke out, large parts of the Union, even Moscow itself, fell under the German jackboot. In the ensuing chaos, Yagoda used the power he had been entrusted with to evacuate much of the Presidium of the Supreme Soviet to the east, as far away from the Reich as possible. In the end, he was able to establish control in the depths of Siberia. From there, he governed one of the most powerful successor states of the Union. The state that the old Presidium built did not last, however. Again and again, enemies and traitors carved their own fiefdoms as Yagoda's empire slowly crumbled. From the hated reactionaries from Harbin, to the Democrats of the Central Siberia and its generals, to the treasonous revisionists just across Lake Baikal. Yet, despite all the blows the Irkutsk government has suffered, it still stands as yet another warlord state. What set it apart, though, is its legitimacy. No other warlord can claim to be a direct continuation of the old government. Yagoda now controls a regime where the NKVD is responsible for protecting the final stronghold of the revolution, and only a handful of Bukharinist politicians can govern. That's all Yagoda has been left with, but it will suffice. Well, has to. And VK Krishna Menon becomes Indian Prime Minister. Okay, so India is out of the chaos. Okay, left-wing populism. As per the late Jawaharlal Nehru's instruction, V.K. Krishnas Menon has been officially inaugurated as the Republic of India's new Prime Minister and the leader of the Congress Party. The decision has been controversial, as Menon has already begun to send feelers of diplomacy towards Subhas Chandra Bose's government of Free India, apparently with a view to negotiate a peaceful solution to the crisis that has rent India into two since the Afghan war. Experts report a growing rift within the Congress Party that the new Prime Minister will have to control should he not wish to find his own party divided under his nose as he looks eastwards. However, with the growing economic crisis affecting Calcutta, it appears that the initial attempts at seeking our strategic meetings have borne fruit. Only time will tell if the maverick Prime Minister's actions are born of hot-headed optimism or pragmatic judgment. Either way, it seems great and momentous things are afoot. I haven't really checked this area, but it looks like Azad Hind government. So Pakistan does not exist, but Tibet is independent. Kingdom of Afghanistan, Khanate of Kalat, frontier provinces. There are a military government of Kingdom of Afghanistan. Okay, well, interesting. Calcutta is actually not. It's part of the Azad Hind government. Union of Burma. Well, the map has been redrawn significantly in this area. Event and decision times. Okay, yeah, definitely. They're making moves which is lowering their legitimacy. So, I wonder if we're gonna get another way how to increase ours. The Central Siberian Republic has conquered the Federation of Novosibirsk and Altai in the struggle for the fate of Russia. Well, things are happening. I guess there are now many contenders. The People's Republic of the Philippines declared war on the US forces in the Philippines. And Juongun Gunseikanbu declared war on the US forces of Philippines. Oh, this looks like the invasion has happened. Yep, we have the Japanese landing in north of Philippines. But they're at war with everyone, basically. So what kind of forces are you boosting? 5 divisions. These guys got 10. These guys got 10 as well. Well, I'm hoping that you're gonna get massive reinforcements, otherwise you're lost pretty much. Japan launches a retaliatory invasion of the Philippines. The Japanese have returned to the Philippines following the success of the Bawintawak Blitz in removing the Japanese puppet regimes. It seems that Tokyo is willing to spill further blood to maintain its hold on the Orient's peril. Early this morning, advance groups belonging to Shinobu Takayama's 14th Army came ashore in the Ilocos region of Luzon Island. With the element of surprise, the Japanese forces were able to quickly capture the city of San Fernando and Dagupan. While the attack was able to take the Filipino defenders by surprise, it was known to be only a matter of time until Japan came calling once more. Having already broken free from the rising sun, the Filipinos are likely to offer a stiff and protracted defense. Whatever the outcome will be, the island is once again bathed with fire and blood. New war for independence has begun. So let's see. So far the strengths seem to be fairly in favor of anyone else. Though the question is, the quality of the units. Of course, you got Daishidan, which could be massive, huge units that are gonna make short work of the enemy. So, what do we know? Nothing. We know nothing. We know nothing. Literally nothing. And we're finishing more infrastructure projects. Good. Good. 20th of September, and we finished it too little too late. In recent weeks, the situation within the Gross Germanisches Reich has worsened. Counter to Speer's belief that they would have improved due to the implementation of reformist economic policies. Instead, Herr Speer has begun to realize that things are going to get worse before they get better, and at this rate it will be quite some time before the Reich is able to achieve economic reform. It's more than obvious that we've achieved too little, too late. So world support has increased, but fascism's popularity is done, and we have finished the focus tree. So whatever's gonna happen next is going to be, well, up to the game. And we can look for opportunities again. Transbaikal Principality declared war on the all-Russian government of Amur. All-Russian government of Amur, huh? Oh, here it is, right in front of me. Yeah, they're forming a little empire here. So, let's look for opportunities. The Kriegsmarine in decline. Although we are the world's foremost superpower, our navy does not hold up in this day or age. Outdated and massively under-equipped, many of our surface ships sit anchored at port, understaffed and in dire need of refurbishment. A casual observer may mistake active duty warships in dock as a mothballed fleet. It is only under Admiral Dönitz' personal care that the U-boat fleet is even somewhat combat ready. There are no disagreements throughout the administration. The surface fleet is severely lacking. Our analysts estimate that even the Italian surface fleet is stronger than ours. Damn! A disgrace! To get the navy up to a standard befitting our status as a superpower would require nothing short of a total restructuring of our navy, completely with new ships, technology and tactics. At this time, there is no feasible way we can achieve this though. However, there are some temporary remedies available to us. By cutting some of Admiral's salaries and reducing waste, room in the naval budget for substantial improvements is possible, be it weapon system overhauls, repairs, new electronics, or even just a new coat of paint. We have an opportunity to finally shape up the Kriegsmarine. The funds are better used elsewhere. Okay, focus on some much needed maintenance, or the fatherland only deserves the best. While the funds are better used elsewhere, which put us into overpowering legitimacy. Okay, this might be a mistake, but I'll keep it there. I don't think 2 more units are gonna give us a big change. And I think that these moderate overpowering, these statuses should play a role in what our outcome is gonna be. So hopefully I'm not mistaken, but I think we should wait. Okay, and Nixon vetoes the Civil Rights Act. Shock, horror, delight, and a myriad of other feelings bubbled in the Senate today as news of the surprise veto of Kennedy's Civil Rights Act trickled in, with Major Leader Lyndon Johnson garnering enough support to push the bill through the floor and onto Nixon's desk. Most assumed that its passing was a foregone conclusion. But that was not to be. With the big red veto stamped across the copy submitted to President Nixon. While conservatives and the Dixiecrats celebrate the defense of American ideals, many progressives, both Democrat and Republican, see this betrayal as the final straw in a long line of inaction and pig-headed appeasement. Senators murmur whispers of defection and revolt in backrooms, while the coalition celebrates its unity. The back of the Republican Democrats has broken, and wolves among the packed circle ever closer. What changed his mind? Well, we're not gonna know in this episode. We're gonna see in the next one, because I'm gonna end it here. So thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you in the next one with further great news of our debt dropping to 103.3%. National debt is getting close to dropping below 240 billion. Inflation, however, is increasing a bit, but that doesn't matter. Our real GDP growth is still above 2%, and we have a yearly surplus of 2.71 billion. I think we're doing fine. So hopefully we're ready for whatever the game is going to throw right at us. So, see you next time.